Hello, welcome to Asian Petrol. Today, let's talk about the IONIQ 6, which will go into the production sometime next March. So I think I'll be able to give you first look at the end of this year. So while we wait, let me just give you quick look coming right up. The IONIQ 6 is based on the Prophecy concept, so it's going to be 4-door coupe, and Hyundai designers said they got the overall inspiration from Black Pebble, but many seem to recall Porsche design. Interesting. The IONIQ 6 will be about size of a Hyundai Sonata, and rather than having long nose and short deck, it's going to be based on Cat 4 design, maximizing the interior space. Yes, still heavily camouflaged, but looking at the car from the front, you can definitely see, because this is a production model, less dramatic fenders compared to the concept car. But you know, Hyundai IONIQ 5 came out just looking like the concept 45, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. But it's got good lines going on from the Prophecy concept, so a little bit more volume would be much better. And that's Genesis GV70 to the right. Size very similar to Hyundai IONIQ 5. So when you see them side by side, you can definitely see IONIQ 6 is longer, wider, but lower with sloping roofline. And by the way, Genesis GV60 will be released soon. So look forward to give you first look on the Genesis GV60. So stay tuned, guys. And because this is an all-electric vehicle, the front bumper is mostly closed, but still has opening on the bottom to cool off the electric motor, battery, AC, and heat pump. I would love to show you the front bumper design without any camouflage on. I think it will look very similar to the Prophecy concept, and I can also definitely see some Porsche design going on from the front nose. So guys, do let me know your thoughts below. Hyundai IONIQ 5 has rectangular looking headlamp design, but on the other hand, IONIQ 6 has very roundish headlamp design. Black Pebble maybe. And rather than having flat and cube type pattern for the DRL, IONIQ 6 is going to have 3-dimensional daytime running lamp placed on the bottom of the headlamp system. Looking at the car from the side, you can really spot interesting and unique design, because when you do open the door, the part of the roof will open together with the door. If you do take a closer look, that is why the A-pillar is divided into half. My thought, why not just make it frameless? I really like to ask Hyundai designers what was the reason making the doors open like that. Really curious. And for smooth airflow, the door handles look very similar to the ones from the Hyundai IONIQ 5. And the IONIQ 6 will be wearing 225 55 by 18 on front and back, but I'm not really a big fan of the 7-spoke wheel design, so really hope Hyundai has different design for the IONIQ 6. And just like the concept car, we have sloping roof lines, and the tail lamp is placed relatively low to emphasize the wide stance. And I think they're trying to hide something large from the rear, so I think we can expect to have a good looking spoiler just like the one from the Prophecy concept. And if it looks something like the concept car, I think it's gonna look awesome from the rear. The sloping roofline gives you that sportiness, but I'm just a little bit worried about the headroom from the second row seat, so I'm just gonna have to wait and show you through a first look. We can find the camera from the rear for the 360 camera, and also pixel design on the right side. I think it's there to show you how much battery is being charged. I'm not really sure, so I'm just gonna have to check it out when I see it in person. And the IONIQ 6 has circular looking charging port and 4 dots on the left side, probably there to show you the state of the charging. But I personally like the charging port of the IONIQ 5 a bit better, because it just looks like designers paid more attention to the detail for the IONIQ 5's charging port. Okay, now let's take a look at the interior. At a glance, I'm a bit disappointed because it just looks like IONIQ 5's interior. So guys, do let me know, what do you think at a glance about the interior of IONIQ 6? Let me know in the comment section. It just looks so much like the IONIQ 5 because it still has two 12.3-inch screens, one for the gauge cluster and one for the infotainment screen. But if you do take a closer look, there are many differences too. We can start from the switches on the handle. For the IONIQ 5, switches are made from the high black glossy material, and the backlight actually reveals letters and symbols, but I guess in a very bright day it can be hard to read. So for the IONIQ 6, Hyundai actually have printed letters and symbols right on the switch itself. I think it's a better approach. It has to be easy to read. Events, hazard, start button, and even climate control look very similar to IONIQ 5, but IONIQ 6 no longer has moving center console in the middle. But rather, IONIQ 6 has very tall center console, and there are many switches on the center console, and it turns out to be window switches. It will make more sense when I show you a door trim image. And as you can see, except for the door handle, there isn't anything on the door trim. And if you take a closer look, Hyundai even carved up the front section of the armrest to maximize the interior space. So I really hope to show you what interior feels like in person. Seats do have orange accents, and I'm gonna have to see it in person, but materials used overall seems to be better than the ones used for the IONIQ 5. And just like IONIQ 5, there's switches on the side of passenger seat. I think it's there so you can move the second row seat forward or backward. And you can certainly spot the digital side mirrors from the side, and now OLED screens seem to be placed a bit higher and better integrated into the dashboard design, so it should look better and more natural. So what about the second row seats? Well, it seems to have plenty of leg room, and just looking at the seats, it seems to be wider compared to IONIQ 5s, but once again I think I will have to check the headroom myself. I'm just a little bit worried because of the sloping roof line, but with flat floor on the bottom, I think IONIQ 6 should have good interior volume. Can also spot two air vents up front, two C-type charging ports on the bottom. Unlike the first row, second row passengers do get window switches and switches for the heated seats, and I will personally have to check that rear looking storage area located at the end of the armrest. And it's really hard to see from this photo, but I really wish IONIQ 6 also gets manual sunshade for the side. Okay, now let's just talk about expected numbers for the IONIQ 6. Just like IONIQ 5, IONIQ 6 will be offered as rear-wheel drive or with all-wheel drive system. Output numbers: 218 horsepower for the rear-wheel drive model or 313 horsepower for the all-wheel drive system, and it's expected to have range of 483 kilometers, which is around 300 miles. So when can we see it? We're hearing Hyundai will start producing the IONIQ 6 sometime next March, so I think we'll be able to give you the first look sometime end of this year, so stay tuned guys. Alright guys, this has been a quick look on the Hyundai IONIQ 6. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back with much more. So stay healthy, see you guys soon, and bye bye.